Podcast presents What's Beef. Now, if you checked us out last night, we did part one of What's Beef, and we was talking about me and Blantonio Todd, another host of the Hood Smokers podcast. This is a chance. Let me break down What's Beef. It's a series we're doing on the Hood Smokers podcast. We're presenting it. We're gonna talk about like different hip hop beats. Like last episode, last night, we part one. We was talking about is hip hop beef good for hip hop? Is rap beef good for hip hop or not? And we'll have different hood smokers that'll be joining us. Like Brother King X might be joining us today. Christopher Jordan. It might be Blantonio Todd and Brother King X. It might be Chester McFly and Christopher Jordan. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Different hood smokers. We might have Monte Cristo on here. We might have Mr. Go-To on here. You never know who might be on here. We might have the homie Dice. You never know. We might have this man right here on here talking about what's beef. But as you see what the title is of part two, it's because if y'all didn't know what's trending right now, man, Drake. It's like Drake versus everybody, man. I mean, I went and I heard the Rick Ross his beef, whatever his diss track. I heard Rick Ross's. I wasn't impressed. To me, personally, like I said last night, Rick Ross and Drake kind of in the same categories because Rick Ross got some nerve trying to talk shit to Drake, knowing this dude, whether he was a police officer or a corrections officer, he was still the motherfucking law. You know what I'm saying? And he still took a real gangster's name and tried to portray himself as one. When as gangster as Rick Ross is gonna get is on some Diddy shit. You know what I'm saying? He's part of that whole little circle and shit. If y'all didn't know, now you know. Gutters, if that's breaking news, that's breaking news. Ain't no allegedly about it. You know what I'm saying? We know. We know you, motherfucker. You didn't know? Well, now you know. But I'm Jay Gutter, like I said. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Drake, man. What y'all think, man? Because I'll give Drake props because he was going at people. But I mean, the people he was going at, though, like I said, let's see. He did J. Cole, and they was boys. You know what I'm saying? He did Kendrick Lamar. He did motherfucking Rick Ross. I mean, shit. Benzino, and they all dropped diss tracks on his ass, not Benzino. He might as well diss Benzino. Shit, Benzino and Drake should join forces. You know what I'm saying? Drake and Benzino should join forces and just start dissing people. We know they ain't gonna step up in the ring for the celebrity boxing. We know that ain't finna happen. Never that. So, what y'all think, man? Drake versus everybody. Ain't that what it kind of feels like right now? Cause Drake, they say he just dissed the whole industry. I heard that track that drop and give me 50, that 50 push-up shit. I wasn't impressed, man. And for one, the reason why I'm not impressed about Drake, you know what I'm saying? To me, like if you're gonna do a diss track on somebody, you should write the motherfuckers. That should be coming out your heart. If you got a problem with somebody like that, you know what I'm saying, where you want to drop a diss track and try to hurt their feelings, downgrade them, make them feel like shit, make them look like a hoe, all that. Shouldn't you write this shit? Or is it the ghostwriter that's dissing them and shit? Personally, if Drake diss me, I wouldn't even be mad at Drake. I'll be looking for that ghostwriter, you know? And I'm dissing ghostwriters. You understand me? Gutter disses ghostwriters. Shout out to the Mad Butcher if you tapped in, man. Yeah, I gotta drop some shit, man. I gotta drop some heat. Cause I got some shit to say. Gutter got some shit to say. I dropped two diss tracks probably in the last 10, 15 years, and I'm known as a diss track rapper now. And one of those was on Benzino about shit, about 5 years ago. Longer than that, 6 years ago. Benzino needs a hug. Look it up. This time he getting slugs. You know what I'm saying? What he did in Detroit, that was just straight disrespectful, man. But this ain't about Benzino. We talking about Drake right now. And this is Was Beef. Was Beef. Yeah, you know the track by Biggie. Yeah, Was Beef. You want to talk about now, is that real beef? Are these diss tracks that these motherfuckers are coming at Drake and Drake's coming back? Is it just hip hop? Or you think that shit'll spill out in the streets? You know what I'm saying? Cause I know Christopher Jordan, he was like, we got that's one thing about the Hood Smokers podcast. We always gonna give you our honest opinion. We ain't a bunch of yes men. If we don't agree, we don't agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Fucking we'll sit there and we'll debate. And we'll still be homies. You know what I'm saying? That's what our homies do and shit. We ain't gonna be like, oh man, fuck you. You disagreed with me. Fuck you. Nah, it ain't like that. We ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like that politics shit. I see how it's fucking done divided people and shit. Ever since you know who was in office and the pandemic and all that, it seems like we went back 10, 15 years with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? With the hate and all that shit. And then you want to throw these motherfucking rainbow flags up in these protests. I was there, front lines in the protests here in Detroit during 2020. And that shit, man. Hey, I salute Detroit for how we handled them motherfucking protests. You know what I'm saying? Because we wouldn't let the motherfuckers that wasn't from around here talk. If you wasn't from our city, you wasn't talking. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Now, Drake, it does seem like everybody's going at him. Could it be? It's just, it's over with. I mean, I don't like how Rick Ross came at him and kept calling him white boy, like what, like that was a diss on him and shit. To me, that just told me you a racist ass corrections officer. Fucking Rick Ross or Ricky Rose or whatever you call yourself these days. I don't know your government name, but I do know you was a corrections officer. And if I wanted to, I would go do the research, pull up the paperwork, and show the world live on the Hood Smoker podcast every Wednesday and Saturday night. But right now, like I said, this is part two. I'm gonna give Christopher Jordan a couple minutes to tap in so we can talk about this. I got a couple moves I gotta shoot today, so I was just tapping in real quick. See if, who's out there. If anybody wants to talk about it, maybe we'll tap in later. Maybe we should do what's beef at night. Seems like we get more people tapping in. I mean, it's hard to tell. This algorithm shit, people be trying to figure it out. We've been fucking with it, playing with it. It is what it is, man. They're gonna shadow ban us because we're cannabis friendly, and we tell it how it is. We don't sugarcoat nothing. If you rock with us, you gotta have thick skin. There's a reason why I am Mr. Fuck Your Feelings. You know what I'm saying? We got Christopher Jordan. Christopher Jordan in the building. What up, dog?
What up, though? What up, though, Mr. J
Shit,
Gutter?
shit, chilling, chilling, chilling. Yeah, just got
No
all
doubt,
work
no
and
doubt.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's
So
going
we
on, man?
good. I was just chopping it up. It's this is What's Beef, the new series brought
Oh
to you
yeah,
by
what's
the Hood
beef?
People Podcast. Yeah, What's
Oh,
Beef
I'm
Part
talking about,
Two.
what's beef, man. I was just thinking, like everybody in the hip hop game beefing kind of reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Like now it's like Mortal Kombat, like J Cole versus Kendrick Lamar, Mortal Kombat. Finish
Right.
him, finish
Finish it.
him, take his soul.
Right.
Let's take his soul. That's
Yeah.
exactly what's going on, man. But that Drake's diss didn't even sound like a diss at all, man. He tried to
No,
make like
I
a
wasn't.
whole
Go ahead. What were you saying about it?
he tried to make like a whole uh song about a diss track, and his diss track was so whack it didn't even sound like a diss track
No,
at
it
all.
didn't. It didn't. That's what I mean. Everybody taking shots at Drake. These was all his homies, you know what I'm saying? These was his dogs for all this time, and they done just turned on his ass and shit. You know what I'm saying? Rick
Yeah, hell
Ross,
yeah,
and that,
yeah,
like I was telling Black told you, Rick Ross and Drake beef, and that's like when you was younger and uh, bitches would get in a fight and shit or something like that. You'd be like, "Bitch fight, girl fight." You know, everybody want to see the bitches fight
yeah. Pull
and
out your
fuck it.
popcorn. Yep.
Yeah, that's what kind of what how I feel about Rick Ross and Drake beefing with each other because you know Rick Ross about as phony as they come and shit. You know what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
saying?
That
And he
security
probably
guard dude.
yeah,
It
corrections
was a
officer.
security guard. Didn't even
Yeah,
have no beard. Shaved his
no,
beard all the time. That's the same. You know what, Jay Gutty? That's the same way I feel about baby and this guy beefing, man, from Young Money.
oh,
Baby
who's
and
that?
Little Wayne. Like
Oh,
when Baby and
Wayne.
Little Wayne had that beef, man, I felt the same way. I'm like, why are these two guys even beefing, man? You know what I mean? I'm like, it didn't make no sense at all.
After they done kissed each other in the mouth.
Yeah, you know, and they
What the
done
fuck?
hooked up with each other. You know, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's some other shit. Baby's a whole other story. I done heard some crazy shit about Baby, like when he was here in Detroit. And this is right out the Esham was right there, you know what I'm saying? He was telling the story. He said the Street Lord Cheddar Boys, they threw him like 20 racks, something like that, to come do a track. He came here to Detroit to jump on a track with the Street Lord Cheddar Boys. Esham was real close with their manager. He was in the studio. He was gonna jump on the track. He said it was him and the Street Lord's manager chilling with Baby. And Baby told him, Esham and them, he was like, yeah, where the girls at? Shit, where the boys at? And they said he asked for girls and boys. Esham said he looked over him and the
Wow.
schoolgirl Cheddar Boy manager looked at each other like, did this motherfucker just say that? And Esham kind of laughed when he was telling the story. He was like, "Man, to each his own and shit, but we don't rock like that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was
So
out. He was out in the open with it.
yeah,
Yep.
he ain't give a fuck, dog. Yeah, so it all makes
Yeah.
sense. So because I know they was saying that shit when Young Buck took that picture of Baby and
Yeah.
Wayne kissing, and he put him on blast because
Yeah.
Young Buck had beef with Lil Wayne because
Yeah.
wasn't it Trina? Trina
Yeah.
was kicking it with Young Buck and then supposedly fucking with Lil Wayne on the side and shit. So they had smoke over that. And he put him out there, and then Baby's thing was, well, Lil Wayne's my son, this and that, and that's why I kissed him in the
Yeah.
mouth. But man,
Yeah.
come on.
Making excuses for that. But
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure when Baby said that shit with
yeah,
Esham in the building, I know Esham was about ready to get the hell up out there real quick.
yeah, they was.
I
He
know I would have been out
played.
quick. I would have been like,
Yeah,
I would have been like Usain Bolt out that motherfucker, man. Once he would have said that, I've been out
yeah. Yeah,
big
he said he
time, man.
surprised the shit out of him and shit. You know what I'm saying? They looked at each other like, what the fuck did he just say, dog? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
he must have been high like P Diddy on Drink Champs when
For
P Diddy was
real.
coming down off Drink Champs all high still from
Yeah.
partying, talking
Yeah,
about
come to my party. Talking to Fab and them.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
to my party.
We ain't partied together. Me and you ain't partied together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was trying.
that's
You
why I
see how
like it.
Fab was look. Fab kind of looked shook, like, oh shit. I hope I don't end up at a Diddy party with Diddy and shit. Like, for
Yeah,
real.
like he was getting ready to go with even saying yes or no. He just
Right.
did he like kind of put him in a trance? What would he do? You know,
Yeah.
was
And
ready
that's
to put
another
him on
thing about
Drink
Rick Ross.
Champs.
Another thing about Rick Ross. There's that photo going around of Rick Ross and fucking Diddy kissing and shit. I mean, what the
Yeah,
fuck? That's that whole little circle and shit. That whole little. That's why they say there ain't no more gatekeepers. Cause they was the gatekeepers, I guess, and they was the one. Now they all out there. Ain't nobody paying attention to what the fuck they got to say no more. And
yeah.
maybe that's why they turned on Drake. Maybe Drake
They
wasn't.
turn on Drake. Everybody's turned on each other. I think
Yeah,
it's just like when you have an ex girlfriend out there, all them gay people. When you have an
yeah,
ex girlfriend out there and you catch attitudes because y'all guys use the date. So maybe they use the date and they caught attitude with each other. Now they want to diss each other. Just like some
right, right.
bitches. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, cause
Yeah,
then
man.
I heard
You,
J. Cole after he dissed Kendrick. The reason why he took that off of all streaming platforms, that diss track. They had him
oh,
take
he
that.
did.
Yeah, he took it off everything. Apple Music, fucking everything. Spotify. You can't find it now unless somebody like recorded it and uploaded it, like bootlegged it or whatever. Like now, like how they bootleg shit nowadays. But yeah, they you can't even find it. But you know what I heard was they dropped the album. I think it was I forgot who was all on it, but they dropped the album and J. Cole was on one of the tracks. So he kind of had to because it was an album of Kendrick Lamar, and I forgot who else was on the album, but it was their mixtape. They're out like a mixtape, and J. Cole was on one of the tracks and shit. So he took the song down right before that album dropped and shit. So, and that's why
Oh,
when he
he
did that
had to.
apology, yeah.
And just like you
So,
said, because if he didn't, you saying like Drake, right?
no,
If
I'm talking
Drake
about
didn't,
J.
oh,
Cole.
J. Cole, okay.
Why he apologized and why he took that diss track down off of all like every platform, streaming platform, and all that. Why he took it down? Because he was on an album coming that was about that's it's out now. It just dropped with Kendrick Lamar that Kendrick Lamar put out, and J Cole's on there and shit. So I'm hearing that's why he took it down and shit because he's on
I
that
think
album.
J. Cole should have uh, left his shit up there, and Drake should have took his shit down.
Yeah, Drake
Cause,
shit was
cause
trash,
Drake,
though.
cause Drake's kind of have everybody after him, just like you said. Everybody versus Drake. Yeah,
Yeah,
Drake gonna have everybody after him. He can't hold that type of weight at
not
all.
at all. No,
He should have just folded and bowed out and then say nothing. Let's keep on going what he was doing. You know,
right.
because the first thing somebody's gonna talk about is somebody writing his own lyrics and stuff. He don't write his own lyrics,
Yeah,
and that's
that's
gonna
another
like
thing. Yeah,
yeah, that's gonna bubble his shit up right then and there.
Yeah, I can't listen to a diss track if I know that it was ghost written. Like, who you gonna who do you diss back? The ghost writer, or do you diss back the artist and shit? Like, you know, like, the
Yeah, you're
ghost
all
writer is
confused. Yeah, you
yeah,
confused. Like, who am I
yeah.
dissing and shit?
That's the
I'm gonna
same
look at
shit
her.
with Benzino and shit. Benzino
Yeah,
even admitted he ain't write that shit. So I mean, to me, that ain't even a real diss track. If you ain't write it, I mean, you spitting somebody else's what they wrote and shit. You just rapping what they wrote and shit. So that ain't your
a
true
hundred.
feeling. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's not even your feelings. That's not even your feelings. That's somebody else's feelings. They kind of
right,
like they're trying to see the world through your eyes, and that ain't
right.
it really ain't gonna work, at
Yeah, yeah.
all.
Nah, hell no. That's why I think that Drake is a joke, dog. Like, and to
Now,
go
to
at
tell you the
Drake,
truth, all of it's pretty much summed up not really to me as a joke, but it's not the same. Like so, like when uh Foxy Brown and Little Kim was beefing, or when
ooh, yeah,
even when Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beefing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Talk about cat fights.
Yeah, yeah. They was talking shit at the
They
award
own it.
shows and shit.
They own
Yeah,
it, man. The cat fights, man.
yeah,
It's crazy. Yep.
right.
And Cardi B and Nicki know they stole Little Kim's style, man. Little
For
Kim,
real.
Little Kim was the first Barbie. She was doing
Yeah.
that Barbie shit first, man. You
Lil Kim
know?
fucked herself up with all that plastic surgery. Should have never done all that. For real. She fucked herself up with that shit. She was straight the way she
Facts.
was. She ain't had to do all that and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
She ain't
Facts.
yeah.
Straight facts. You ain't lying, man. Well, one thing I think she wants to like try to, but she can't. Nobody can. Nobody can't forget about the Biggie era. Nobody can't forget
Right.
about all that stuff that happened between Big and Pac when that Big and Pac beef. You can't forget
Right.
about that. So I think that she just wants to like try to look in the mirror and see something different completely, you know, compared to what her face usually looked like because it reminds her of a lot of
Yeah.
that time period.
Right. Yeah.
So she sees that.
Nah.
She sees that when she looks in the mirror. She wanna. I don't know, man. And she wanna be the next. I don't know what to call it. The next Jabba the Hutt from fucking Star Wars or some shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
know,
know.
man.
And you
I
said
don't.
the Foxy Brown and Lil Kim beef. That shit was real. That was some real shit. People
Hell
got
yeah,
shot over that shit. Remember that shooting outside of Hot 97 in New York? Nori was
yeah,
with him. Nori was with Foxy Brown and them. They was coming in and Lil Kim and them's camp was walking out and they seen each other and I guess both sides crew, their entourage started shooting at each other and someone got shot in Foxy Brown's entourage. That's when Lil C's snitched. Lil C's got on the stand and snitched on the bodyguard, and Lil Kim wouldn't. Lil Kim did
yeah,
a year in prison because of that. Lil
yeah,
Kim did a year because she wouldn't snitch and testify. So
yeah. Matter of fact, that's another beef was Little Kim and Little C's. They was
yeah,
beefing for a little bit
which
because he
makes
had
sense.
said something.
Right.
He had snitched.
He ain't had to do that.
Nah,
No, that
that's
was some
straight
shit.
back then street code, man.
Yeah.
You didn't involve the authorities. You just took care of it yourself. You know,
It just seemed
kept
like
all the
everybody
information
that
for yourself.
it just seemed like everybody that got down with Bad Boy and Diddy, it just ended all bad for him and shit. Like in the long run.
True that. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them, I mean, everybody that signed the
That
bad book.
that Black Rob situation and Craig Mack situation is sad, man.
Yeah, even you can
So
link
sad.
Heavy D. You can link Heavy D to that shit too. You know what I'm saying? You can link Heavy D to Uptown Records and all that shit. So man, yeah, that shit's fucked up. Then and look at Al B. Shore. He almost lost his life.
Yeah.
Shit, fuck. And then he even
I'll be
gets
sure, man. I don't know how true that is. The kid does look a lot like Albie Shore. Was Albie Shore having Diddy taking care of his son? That
yeah, I
kid
don't
that
know.
that kid looked just like Albie Shore. Allegedly, that
It
kid
could
was
be.
Albie Shore's son, and Diddy adopted him or something.
I wouldn't doubt it though. The way they be getting down, you know what I'm saying? They passing each other around, dudes, females, everybody and shit. So they don't
Yeah,
know who the
man.
fuck kid it is, dog. Diddy's kids probably ain't even really his kids. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah,
probably was from somebody else just because the chick he was with had him. He paying male prostitutes to fuck his girls. You know what I'm saying? What kind of shit is that?
yeah. And
That's
I think I think Pac and Suge, they knew all that. They knew all that
yeah,
what Diddy was up to, man, in the beginning when it started, man. And Diddy was hot. Diddy was hot. Like, damn, I'm trying to
yeah,
keep this shit from everybody. I don't want nobody to find this shit out. And you got Pac running his big ass mouth talking about Diddy's homosexual and all this stuff, and
yeah.
then Suge knew it too. And there's another one, baby mama drama.
And big dog,
Suge and
Biggie was gonna leave. I heard Biggie was gonna leave Bad Boy. I heard
yeah,
he
hell
was
yeah,
actually even talking with Suge with Death Row. Could you imagine if Biggie would have went to Death Row? That'd have killed the whole East Coast, West Coast beef, and they would have had a powerhouse. And Pac and Big would still be alive today, though. You know what I'm saying? Fucking.
yeah, hell yeah, yep.
But
And
and Diddy would have never dropped his little rap song dedicated to Biggie as soon as he passed. He ain't mourning or nothing. Right away, he's dropping music and shit, trying to capitalize off Biggie dying and shit. Like
and
that just shows
partying,
you how fake he is and shit. That wasn't his
yeah.
dog, like he tried to make it sound like. Same
Hell
shit with
no.
like Fat Joe and Big Pun. Big Pun was just a check to Fat Joe. That was his street cred. That was his money. He had I forgot how many $1 million life insurance policy on Pun that he got when he passed. Didn't give it to his family. Pun's family was homeless. His wife, his son, they was homeless and shit, living in homeless shelters. How the fuck's that happen? You got one of the best rappers ever to live, and his family's fucking homeless after he passes. And Fat
Yeah,
Joe still using his name, that still brings up Pun's name. Like that was his twin. That's what he called him, his twin. Like,
yeah.
motherfucker. But we know the truth about that. Shout out to homie Cuban Link and shit. We
Shout out
know the
Cuban
truth
Link,
behind that.
my boy
Yeah,
Cuban Link.
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out his manager too, Goya. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Shout out
I was
Goya.
just chopping it up with Cuban Link, having him on for a part four and shit. Then I just locked in Gary P from Beats by the Pound, No Limit, Beats by the
Yeah.
Pound.
No
We
doubt,
got
man.
him on May 11th, and I'm talking with KK from Second to None. You remember Second to
Ooh
None?
wee, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Second
we
to
got
none.
this one.
They
Yeah, we
still
got
rolling
this.
with that, man.
Hell yeah,
Second to none. They still rolling.
we
Yeah.
got them coming up too in May. So yeah, that's dope. But not like because even today when I was talking on the phone with Gary P from Beats by the Pound, and I was telling him about our show, I told him I was like, we don't be stirring the pot like any beefs or nothing like that. We ain't gonna bring that shit up. I was like, if you got problems with someone, if you want to talk about it, you can bring it up. But we ain't
Go
gonna
right
be like
ahead. Yeah.
any drama or nothing like that. We ain't trying to that ain't what our show's about. But we got this now was beef where we could talk about certain shit on here and gives a chance for other hood smokers to shine too. Like everybody can get to know us more personally because the people can't really ask us questions while we're asking the guest questions and shit. So this way they
Yeah.
can chop
It's
it.
like a
It's like,
flip.
yeah.
The
So
what's the what's beef is like tales from the hood.
right,
Tales from the hood smoker.
right. Pass from the hood smoker podcast.
So what's beef is the flip side of the hood smokers podcast.
Yeah, now
It's
we
the
gonna
flip
stir the we
side.
can stir the pot down here. We can talk shit. We can talk about the beefs and hip hop.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
all this shit. But yeah, I
Another
was thinking, I was up late last night, dog, late, and I had to work, get up early. I'm tired as fuck, but I was like watching it because I kept watching. I want to know what all the hype was about. I listened to every one of the diss tracks. I wasn't impressed with none of them. I think J. Cole and Kendrick probably had the hardest and shit, but as far as Drake and Rick Ross, dog, I mean, that shit was kind of whack to me. Even Rick Ross's shit was whack to me and shit. I just can't.
straight whack, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't. None of them brothers, man. I would say other than Drake. I mean, excuse me. Other than J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, none of them brothers can't mess with Pusha T, man.
Oh hell
Oh,
no.
Pusha.
And they said Pusha T was the only one Drake didn't respond to when Pusha T came out because he knew he would kill him. Pusha T's a true MC. He's
Hell
out
yeah.
cold with the pen. That motherfucker got bars. Ain't got no ghost rider. That motherfucker can spit. he'll kill you and shit. He's what probably one of the most slept on MCs. He don't get the credit that he's due. He should be in a lot of top 10 lists as MCs
Hell yeah.
lyrically. Yeah,
And
for sure.
Pusha T, you know, he's one of them MCs, man, that don't even need no music when he's rhyming, man. He could rhyme without the instrumental. He could
Yeah.
rhyme acapella. He could rhyme acapella and kill it.
Well, shoot, think about
Yeah,
all
hell
the
yeah.
like the first Clips album. When the Clips album came out, they didn't use a whole bunch of sounds in the beats. It was just a lot of like you had the bass going and shit, the drums, shit like that, some claps, but they didn't use a whole bunch of instruments and all that. It was mostly them rapping, and they even used sound effects like that song. What was that song? Why how you would how why you kill that boy or something like that. I forgot how it went,
Oh
dog. It was
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, and they're like "Brrr," making noises like that, like they was making noise with their mouths on the beat and shit. Like they
Yeah, that
ain't
shit
even
was
hard,
dope. Yeah.
hard as fuck. They had a video for it, all that shit. Like fucking. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they
no.
didn't they didn't they didn't do all that sound effects until they hooked up with the Neptunes.
Oh yeah,
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 they
yeah.
hooked up with the Neptunes,
Oh,
man.
yeah, yeah, for real ass. He's
Oh,
a
matter of
beast
fact,
too.
that's another beef, Jay. Freaking For
Who's
Real and Chaz beefing.
oh shit. See,
Yeah,
I ain't know.
Chad and For Real's beefing over some type of beats and stuff that was in the Eclipse album and stuff. Like who owns it or something like that, man. I never thought
Man,
Chad and For Real gonna be beefing. Man.
shit. Speaking of producer beasts, what about Dr. Dre and Jermaine Dupri
Yeah.
when they was beefing? And
And
Timberland.
and
Timberland was
Puffy was up in
beefing.
that beef too. Yep.
Yeah, Timberland was beefing with him too, with not with Dre, but with Jermaine Dupri.
Yep.
I remember that one bar Dre said he was like, I got over 100 million records sold and I ain't had to do it with 10 and 11 year olds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
You-
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Now that one hit hard.
yeah.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Yeah.
But Jermaine Dupri's one of them producers like Puff, where they ain't really technically producers. They're just in the studio and they put their name on the shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the ones behind the boards. They ain't touching no knobs. They ain't leveling shit out. They ain't mastering and mixing. They might give some ideas or yeah, that sounds hot, or do this or do that, but they ain't the actual producer. Like Dr. Dre,
Nah.
he's the actual producer. That
Hell
motherfucker
yeah.
lives in the studio and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they
And,
just put their
and he's
name on the producer.
and Dre's making his own beats where P Diddy and Jermaine Dupri they kind of making a lot of remixes like with everybody else's beats and stuff. Even though
Yeah,
it sounds fire, it's fire. Don't get me wrong, it's fire. You
yeah.
know when they came
I
up with
think
that.
Diddy was like the one that made that shit famous, really low key. Diddy was like the one of the first ones really doing that. Like taking them old school tracks, old school shit, like old R&B, Motown shit like that, and then turn it into a hip hop beat and shit.
Yep, yep,
Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
dope.
man.
What I hate about that about Bad Boy and Diddy though is because I'm a huge Biggie fan. You know what I'm saying? I always been a Biggie fan. If even Junior Mafia, you know what I'm saying? Fuck it, but you can't listen to a Bad Boy song without hearing Diddy talking on the hook. And it's not just because Suge Knight said that shit at the Source Awards. It's true and shit. You know what I'm saying? You talk, you listen
Yeah,
to it, he
yeah,
like talks in between at the beginning, he'll talk it during the hook and shit. With that, take that, and shit like that. Like, yeah, he'll make little sound effects. And just
yeah.
listening to it, I'll be on the radio. I'll turn the radio on sometimes, and they'll be playing a Biggie track or something and shit. They always play that song out here where I forgot the name of it. It was on the last album Biggie had, the one that right before he passed, but where he says hypnotized, I think the song was. Where
Yeah,
my Detroit players, where he says that. So they play
yeah,
that
yeah.
out here all the time. But even that track, you know what I'm saying? Diddy's talking on it and shit. I think Diddy actually even raps on that track. And I bet you he wasn't on that track before Big died, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And remember Puffy dropped that solo album as soon as Big
Oh
died, his
yeah,
only one and only solo album with that track all about the Benjamins, baby. That
yeah.
shit.
He was getting off. He was getting off on that one, big one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's when he was trying to get the locks and all them and shit. And the locks you seen, they dipped quick. Like, fuck this shit. We ain't fucking with
Yeah.
them. We rough riders. Like, shit.
That's Rough Rider. You ain't no Rough Rider. Yep.
That's another one, X. I mean, who the fuck
Yep.
would really want to beef with X, though? Like, you don't want to, like, rest in peace, X, but I mean,
Rest in
fucking, who
peace,
the fuck would,
DMX.
yeah, he was like they said, he was probably the closest one to Pac as far as real and shit, keeping it real and shit out there in the streets. I mean, Cuban Link, when we was talking to him, he was talking about how like DMX used to pull up. He was the only rapper that done went platinum. He had back-to-back platinum albums in
Yep.
1 year and shit.
Yep.
And this motherfucker pulls up at a venue by himself, walks up on the venue like, "What's up?" Yelling and shit.
Yep.
Crowd all out there, fans out there. He don't give a fuck. Like who's out there?
Yep.
Just like, and that's a
He,
real
he he
motherfucker.
loves the streets. He said,
Yeah,
the streets I roam, the streets my home. You know, the streets was
yeah.
his home.
And
You
the
know.
streets respected him and shit. And that
Yep.
shows you who's real and who's not. Cause you ain't gonna see Diddy do that. Not without a
Oh
whole
hell
crew of
no.
bodyguards around him and shit. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have some protection. Like the Lock said, like Jada Kiss and Styles said when Puffy called into the radio station, was like, don't talk about this shit on the radio. You know where my office is at. Come to my office. And Jada Kiss like, motherfucker, he was like, this how we. He was like, if we come to your office, Puff, you got the whole National Guard down there. What the fuck? He was like, we going to jail. He was like, we
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
do that. You know that, Puff. It was like he's because he ain't want him to put all their business on the radio and
Nope.
shit. And Puffy
Cause
ended up hanging up because they just went in. Jada Kiss and Styles went in on his ass. You know what I'm
they went
saying?
in, they were like, yeah, you don't want everybody to know that you robbing us. He's like, what are you
Right.
talking about? He's like, that's not what you call it. This is you call it something else. And they like, that's not what you call it. What do you call it then? What do you call it then? I think I think that's when he hung up. They was putting fire on his ass. Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah,
he ain't walked up. Puffy though, man. And then you see him hugged up with like motherfucking Oprah and shit. You see him hugged up with all these people that's getting all these allegations now. And people are saying shit. I mean, I guarantee you, Puffy was like buddy buddy with Epstein, though. I guarantee
oh
that.
man, yeah,
Mhm.
man, yeah, of course. Oh, you know they were switching bed sheets and everything out
Oh
lots
yeah.
of times. Yeah,
They
big
low
time.
key. Diddy might have been one of the main ones bringing the people to Epstein Island. You know what I'm saying? That he might
Trying to
have
send
been
the Oprah.
Epstein getting
Yeah,
Diddy like, yo, I need some more people and shit. Bring them through the tunnel. Like they probably had a motherfucking underground aircraft, motherfucking like a airport like thing for a jet down there where they could underneath the underground under the Playboy Mansion all the way to Diddy's crib and all that shit. I mean, ain't no telling. The Fed, the Feds know. Shit,
oh
Homeland
they
Security
do.
know. Yeah. Everybody's like, well, he ain't get arrested. Ain't no charges pressed. That's how the feds work, though. If you know how the feds work, they got a 99% conviction rate. They ain't
Yeah,
gonna lock you up till they know for sure they got a case. They'll watch you kill somebody. They'll
yeah,
watch you slinging keys of dope. They'll be parked like me, parked right here. I could be watching these motherfuckers slinging dope right here, and they'll just be taking pictures and all that shit, watching,
yeah,
watching,
yeah.
watching. Couple months, 3 months, few months. And then when they got enough where they know they can, you ain't never getting out of there, then they come and get your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened with Keefy D. Keefy D got
yeah,
raided, and everybody thought, okay, Keefy D's good. He's they ain't take him to jail, whatever. 2 months later, look at him now. Now
yeah.
he's locked the
He
fuck
ain't getting
up,
out. Yeah, he might say bye bye to the
opening,
streets.
yeah, opening his
Yeah,
mouth and shit. Yeah,
yeah. It's going a whole line, man. Yeah, and just like you
yeah.
said, Puffy, if Puffy is running around right now, yeah, they collected more data on his ass,
And that makes me
big
think
time.
about Drake because you think of what kind of person Drake is. Like I know he tries to rap like he's kind of tough now and shit. Like he tries to act a little tough, and it's kind of a joke when you hear him rap tough. I gotta laugh when I see him try to rap tough. You know they was probably passing Drake around, dog. They was probably
A
like, cause he
hundred.
kind of reminds me like a Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah,
similar, like a pop star. I don't even consider Drake a rapper, really, and shit. I consider him more a pop star.
me too.
Like just like he said to Meek Mills, you got bodied by an R&B singer and shit. That's another beef. But Meek Mill, he another one that's a fruitcake and shit. I mean, what the
Straight
fuck?
fruit
Like, and I ain't know that. And I was a Meek Mill fan and shit. You know what I'm saying?
for a
And
minute.
shout out to Philly and shit. You
Yeah,
know what
shout
I'm
out to Philly.
saying? But yeah, that's crazy. Like heard there was a video where the owner of the 76ers had Meek Mill at a party or something. I had him barking like a dog, hopping like a frog and shit. Like he was
Yeah.
like their entertainment and shit. Like what the fuck kind of shit is that? Use a gangster rapper, use a killer, use this, use that. You from the hood, and you gonna let some shit like that, like some motherfucker. I don't give a fuck how many billions of dollars you got. When you die, you can't take that shit with you. You know what I'm
Hell
saying? I
no.
don't give a fuck how much
Yeah.
money you got.
Yeah.
Dog, that's
Yeah.
what
You
people
never.
got the game fucked up. They
Big
chasing
time.
this money so hard, dog. Yeah, it'd be nice because we all want to live comfortable. Like it'd be great if we could all, like, let's say the whole crew, the whole hood smokers, we all live. Let's say we all go to Hawaii. We set up a shop. We got a studio there, and that's all we do is we do the Hood Smoker podcast and shit like this. What's beef? We podcast and shit, and we just hang out on the beach because we got money and shit. That's all good. But when we die, that shit, when we gone, we can't take that shit with us. You know what I'm
Not at
saying? So,
all.
yeah,
And we
so it
tell you,
don't even matter.
ain't neither one of us gonna lose our dignity over no damn dollar.
No,
Hell no.
fuck
How,
no. Yeah,
how the
selling
hell,
your clothes.
man, you gonna go to a party and homeboy got you jumping and barking like a dog, like homegirl from Coming to America? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? Bark like a
Oh yeah,
dog,
I
jump
remember
up.
that.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
When they was in before they came to America, right? Before they came to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a homeboy had homeboy doing that from Philly. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't care how much money you got. I mean, I can see people's money hungry and that he's like, okay, well, this guy's gonna probably put money behind me and shit, get my music and all that. But still, I mean, to do some shit like that, I'd have probably beat the fuck not no probably's. I'd have beat the fuck out of the owner of the 76ers. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been on
Straight.
the news. And you would have got famous off that. You might have did a little jail time, but you would have got famous off that. Your music would have been banging on the streets while you were in jail, you know what I'm saying? Like you beat that would have been worldwide news. Meek Mills beats the break off the 76ers owner and shit because he tried to make him bark like a dog. His music's gonna skyrocket and shit.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that tells me he's just a bitch dog inside. Like
If I was
to
up
let
in there, man, the 76ers would have been the 75ers with -1. Because I would have beat the
right.
fucking brakes off that motherfucker. Telling me
And
to
the
bark like a
athletes,
dog.
dog, athletes,
Man.
they're getting exposed too. Shit. That one video at that Diddy party where they caught Bieber fucking doing that shit to Odell Beckham and shit from the Giants.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, they just had something with Bieber again, him and Will Smith's son. Will
Oh
Smith's son
yeah, they was
get
kissing
him get
and
him on the
shit.
back. Man,
Yeah.
oh shit. Then he kissed him on the neck like a woman. Like, oh shit, man, what the
Well,
hell is going on?
Will Smith's son, though, I'll give Will Smith's son this. At least he ain't hide it. You know what I'm saying? He let it be known he was
Yeah,
gay. But
yeah.
then you got Bieber, who he's supposed to be, baby, baby, baby. He's supposed to be like all the little girls loving me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only Bieber song I know and shit. So I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah,
you
man.
know, he got all these little girls liking him and shit, and his ass a little Fruit Loop and shit. But then you could blame his parents and shit. You know what I'm saying? They basically sold him to Diddy and shit. Like, here, just go to
Straight,
Diddy. Here,
yeah.
how much money you gonna give me and shit? You can have my son. How much money you gonna give me?
Ooh. Yeah, straight.
So why don't they
That's like
go after
Diddy's
him?
straight
They
up.
need to go after them. The same thing with Usher's parents too and shit. From what I'm hearing different shit. Like I heard one story that Usher ran away when he was 14 and went to Diddy's. Then I heard another story that Diddy adopted Usher. I heard another story that the parents just sent him there to Diddy camp or whatever and shit. I don't know which one's actually true and shit, but I know Usher said he would never send his kids to Diddy camp. He said hell no, like so. I
I
mean,
I think Usher was kind of like trying to do his thing, and P Diddy was already that gatekeeper, so he was like giving the ultimatum to his parents. If he wanted to make it, and wanted to see him do something, he had to go to Diddy camp. So
what?
they didn't
Talking
they didn't
about
give him no fight.
oh, he was talking about he was laying in the bed with him when he was 10 years old, 11 years old, wrestling over the fucking frosted flakes and shit. This
Yeah, wrestling
motherfucker
over
Diddy
Frosted
over 10
Flakes.
years older than him and shit. What the fuck? Get the
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
taking him to all the freak parties, letting him drink and smoke at the age of 13 or maybe
Right.
younger. Yeah,
Yeah.
wrestling for some Frosted Flakes in the bed. Come on. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Kevin Hart was like, did he just say that? Did Puff just say that? Did Puff just say that? He's like, I don't even want to stand by the bed with you, Puff. I don't even want to stand by the bed with you, Puff. When he was interviewing him at that party, you see that? Kevin Hart. But I mean,
Yeah,
what's up with Kevin Hart though and shit? You know what I'm saying? Is Kevin Hart? Because I know Cat Williams said he was a plant, that he got planted in Hollywood, that he didn't pay his dues. You know what I'm saying? They just all of a sudden he wasn't like some big stand-up comedian before he came famous. All of a sudden he was just in Hollywood movies, and he was like, "What do they do that at?" Like all of a sudden you
yeah.
just put in these Hollywood movies. So
I
he
don't think Kevin Hart. To me, I don't think Kevin Hart is down um, with the sex part of the agenda, but he's in there for the agenda. Like just like
right,
Cat Williams said, he is a plant because
right.
he's messing around with the Rock. Him and the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the Rock. They kind of went into the agenda a little bit later than everybody else because they was down to earth for a long time. Then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, bam, they got with the dark side. Went with the dark
Yeah.
side, and that was it. You know.
Cause I always heard good shit about The Rock. Like before, like when he first was coming out and shit, I always heard good shit about The Rock. He was good people, all that shit. Busy?
Now my wife had hot coffee in her hand. I didn't want to get burnt.
No, hell no. That hot coffee, that's a bad motherfucker. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
you throw a
Yeah, I was
cup
like,
of hot coffee
out the
in
way
somebody,
quick.
hell yeah. You don't want that on you.
Nah. Yeah, man. I was like, man, this whole beef thing, man, they might be trying to cover their asses up, man. I don't know. You know, literally covering their asses now.
And then there's other theories. Could it be a publicity stunt? Could they be doing all this shit just like, because you know how we're talking about it. Every reactor on every YouTube channel's talking about it now. I was watching No Life Shaq's reaction to it and shit, to all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's reacting to it and shit. All these big time reactors and shit are reacting to these all these diss tracks. So could it be a publicity stunt? Could they really be cool and talked about it? That's another like. I mean,
They,
it's
yeah,
possible and
that's
shit.
another thing. Yep. Because look, even Pac, like before he died, they said him and Big got together before that Pac died and started talking about, they're not really beefing no more with each other, but Pac wanted to keep it going because it made lots of money. You know,
Right.
yeah, Pac said, "We're making this money. Let us make this money. Let it roll out." And
Yeah.
that controversial topic makes a lot of money. You know,
Yeah, they
yeah,
say it's human nature. We love beef. We love drama
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the drama, man. Like
that sells.
glorified. Yeah, glorifying drama. Yeah,
If you think about, look at the conscious rappers and shit. This Kodak, like Queen Latifah, like how we talked about that before and shit when we were talking about female artists, people like that. But they ain't. People would rather listen to Tupac hit 'em up and shit like that than
yeah.
Queen Latifah talking about who you calling a bitch, Pinity and shit
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was
Yeah.
dope when they did like "We All in the Same Gang" and all that, them tracks and shit. Which I think we need another track like that, dog. With like the younger artists and the older artists together and shit. A track like "All in the Same Gang" type track. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
I
All the
think, but the
rappers.
simple fact, sorry about that. The simple fact about like controversial hip hop is like you can't like if you go to the gym and you working out, right? You can't work out in the gym to like really conscious hip hop,
Right.
really. You want to listen to some DMX, some Tupac, something that gets you
Nah,
pumped
amp
up and
you up.
motivated to
Yeah.
work out at the gym. You
Right.
know, I mean, you go listen to conscious rap while you're working out at the gym. You're liable to drop the weights on your neck and get choke yourself out. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
so
Yeah.
that
That's
it's a certain things that controversial rap is good for. You know, to give you
right.
that get up and go and that charge to give you that spark.
Yeah, I mean, I got a perfect example in my life. That's how I started. It was way before 50. Well, 50 was out, but I ain't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know who 50 was until like I think it was 2002 when he signed with Shady and he dropped that song Wankster and shit. And then I was like, yeah, Ja Rule this. I was like, yeah, because back in 2000 when I was in the joint, I got locked up in '99, and then that was around the time when I was bumping Ja Rule's first album, Venoveta
Yeah.
Vici. And that shit was hard. Like, my race against time, I can't stop running through the red lights, living my life. Like, it was
Oh yeah.
hard.
Yeah, that was
Murder.
his dope time. Yep.
Yeah, and look, in the MDOC in Michigan Department of Corrections, you can only order 3 tapes at a time, cassette tapes. Three now they got, I think they got iPods and all that other
Yeah,
shit
hell
now.
yeah.
But you could only
iPads,
order,
everything.
yeah, so I would always order shit I already knew was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd order Pac, big shit I listened to already back in the days, because I knew it'd get me amped in the joint. Like I'm saying, working out, like in the weight pit,
Yeah.
or I'm on the yard. So I ordered the Ja Rule. He dropped a new album. I'm like, bet I'm gonna order this. I ain't never hardly order any new albums when they drop, but I ordered that one because I was a Ja Rule fan when the first album dropped. And then when I heard all them love songs, J Lo, Ashanti, all them on there, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Where would I be without you? All that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I sold that tape right away. I almost busted it, but I went and sold it and shit. I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna get some money, at least get some zoom zooms and wham whams for this shit. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Give it to the right people. We get some zooms and wham whams. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can throw
Yeah.
me a couple tubes for that shit. I got that new Ja Rule.
I can't
Throw
even
me a
see a
couple tubes
I
in
can't
a
even
nutty
see
bar.
nobody working out to that shit.
Hell no, I was so pissed off,
Shit.
and that's what made me not like Ja Rule. I wasn't a fan no more. And then when 50 came out with that Wankster song, and I seen it, and I was like, oh shit. And then I seen the interview with him, Eminem on MTV. It was him, Eminem, because I was up north in Marquette. We didn't even get BET up there. All we got was MTV and VH1. And I'm watching MTV, and it was an interview with 50 Cent, Eminem, and Dr. Dre when he first signed. I got out of prison in 2003, and he had his record release party in Detroit. Just in time, I got out like not even a month before he had his record release party in Detroit. And
Yeah.
it was dope as fuck, though. It was live. And so that's when I met Eminem's younger brother, Nathan Mathers. He was a
Oh
little
wow,
from
man.
yeah, because nobody knew Eminem was gonna be there. There was a 50 Cent concert. They didn't promote it as Eminem was gonna be there. D12 opened up for him. G Unit opened up for him, but no
Classic.
Eminem when D12 came out. No Eminem. It was just D12 without
Yeah.
Eminem. So no one knew Eminem was in the building. Towards the end of 50 set, 50 was like, all right. He was like, I get more love here in Detroit than I get in my own hood. This and that, all this shit. And he got the whole crowd going crazy. And he was like, I want everybody in this bitch to start saying Shady,
Yeah.
Shady. He had the whole place chanting that shit. I
Yeah.
was right there in the front, dog. Me
Classic.
and my boy
Classic.
Money Mall and shit from the Hood Smoker podcast. Me and Money Mall's right there in the front. He was a little bit closer and shit. I was about 2 rows back from the stage. He was like right up on the stage because he's a little bit. We worked our way up to the front. We had to get through everybody and shit. And he's a little bit smaller than me, so it was easier for him to slide through. There was a DVD that came out with the second album when 50 dropped his second album. He put the DVD. That was the concert. That DVD was at that show we was at the State Theater in Detroit, and you can see Money Mall getting thrown out if you watch it when 50 Cent does the song in the club.
Yeah.
The people started going crazy, and there was this one dude, and this wasn't doesn't have nothing to do with gang shit, but it just happened to be this dude was flagged up with red and shit. And Money Mall at the time, he was a GD, he was a G, so he was had his hat to the right, busting blue. But dude kept jumping. But that wasn't why Money Mall bombed on him. It was because dude every time like he was jumping, going crazy, and he put his hand on Mall's fucking shoulder and tried to
Oh
jump up.
yeah. That'll piss anybody off.
Yeah, Jamal looked at him and was like, don't touch me. He told him, he warned him. He was like, don't touch me. Dude did it again. So he turned around and hit him with it like a two-piece and dropped him. Well, security rushed. Mall's like, man, why y'all grabbing me? He motherfucker put his hands on me. Da, da, da. They dragged him out and shit. I'm up there in the front. I'm seeing it all go down, and I'm like, man, I ain't losing my spot, dog. I'm this bitch, dog. Like,
Epic.
so I'll catch you outside. I see them taking them out, but when you watch the DVD, If anybody gets a chance to watch that DVD, it came with the second album, 50 Drop. It came with it. He had it was a CD and a DVD. That's you can watch it, and towards the front of the stage, you'll see a big crowd going on. Security dragging Jamal out, Money Mall out of the State Theater. And I remember he had my squares, my Newports on him. And I didn't have a square the whole night. I'm like, damn, I need a square, but I ain't want to lose my spot because I'm right there
Yeah.
on the stage. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up backstage too. And then when I came outside, Malls outside, he's like, man, the motherfuckers threw me out. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, he smoked all my cigarettes too. I was like, man, I need a square bad as fuck. He done smoked them all and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out there for a minute.
Yeah, but that was dope.
What?
Yeah, I went to a few I went to the D12, their second album record release. Went up there and shit. I met Papa Doc from the Mountain Climbers from 8 Mile. He was in the
Yeah.
group Mountain Climbers. That was under Iron Fist Records, who brother King X, his boy Firstborn, he be tapping in. He's a Hood Smoker podcast fan. He rocks with us.
It'd be
He
nice
was
to
the
meet him. Yeah. Meet all the hood smokers, man.
yeah, no, Firstborn was the one who owned the label um Iron Fist Records, which was Proof's label, and that's the label that it was a group called the Mountain Climbers, and that was the dude who played Papa Doc in the movie 8 Mile. He was in there, and now look at him. I mean, he's a fucking one of the biggest movie stars in Hollywood and shit. Now he's a superhero and a Marvel superhero and shit. Fucking,
Yeah.
he's in all types of shit and
Hell yeah.
fucking. I've seen him in all types of movies. Cheddar Bob, he was a DJ from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So when people say Eminem didn't put people from Detroit on, that's a lie. Because
That's
all
a
them
straight
people in
lie.
that
Yeah.
movie, yeah, all them people in that movie, besides the Hollywood stars, they had to throw some Hollywood stars in there because it was a Hollywood movie, like Kim Basinger to play his mom. Ain't that who played his mom? Kim Basinger, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah,
M's mom.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
believe
then
so.
what's her name played the girl, his girl, Brittany Murphy.
Homegirl. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
Homegirl, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know she
She
passed
did a
and
good
shit.
she did a good job. She did a good
Yeah,
job in that movie. Yeah.
and Mekhi Phifer and shit, who was playing Bruce role. But yeah. Besides that, everybody else in that movie was from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
else was from Detroit. So he to say he didn't put all he put on was D12 is a that people in Detroit know and shit. It's just they like benzene
That's
all you
somebody talking. When you if you ain't got no haters, you're doing it wrong. When you're doing
right,
the right thing, you got tons of haters. You know.
right. I mean,
But if you ain't,
shit. We Soup, he was in there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't use his part because he crushed Eminem. He was like, I don't want to do it scripted. We gonna battle for real. Like we gonna battle for real. A Super MC battled Eminem, and Eminem didn't like how he battled him because it didn't make Eminem Rabbit look good. You know what I'm saying? So
no.
they didn't use that part. But you can
Yeah.
find
Hell
it
yeah.
on YouTube and shit because he went in on him and shit. He wanted to really freestyle battle him. He was like, "We no script, none of that. We just gonna do it. We gonna do this shit freestyle. We gonna do it for real." And that's how a lot of them battles were. But some of them were scripted and shit. But
Yeah. Big time.
yeah, but
Yeah. I know. M just wanted to eat them up.
right, right,
You know
yeah,
his way. Yeah.
yeah. No, that shit's crazy. And as far as and what about Drake? Like Eminem, they say Eminem will never diss Drake. But low key, a lot of people don't know this. There was a track that had Drake, Kanye West, uh, who the fuck else was on it? It was Drake, Eminem, Kanye West. Shit, I forgot who was all in it and shit. But Eminem went last, and he dissed everybody on the track. And he didn't say their names, but he dissed everybody on the track and shit. His verse and shit. He dissed Drake. He dissed Lil Wayne. He dissed motherfucker. I can't Kanye. He was dissing all them on that track and shit. Like fucking, and they didn't even catch it. And if you notice, like now when there was a video for it, and then nothing at I forgot
I
how the
know.
song goes. That
Yeah.
song, yeah. They took Eminem's verse off because they ain't catch it at first. At first they didn't know and shit. They shot the video, everything. They're like, hold up. Then they was I guess they listened to it or somebody told them, like, M's talking about y'all. Like if you listen to the lyrics of what he's saying, them is all subliminals on y'all and shit. He's dissing everybody that's on the track with him and shit. So fucking
M was dissing Drake hard, and everybody talking about are they seeing Eminem with a wig on, with his school Catholic girl school uniform on, with ponytails or whatever. But M was trying to tell everybody that was Drake. He was like dressing up like Dre, like a chick, and saying that
yeah.
he was Drake dressed up like a chick, like a Catholic school girl chick. He said it was Drake.
No, you know what that was? That was when he did the video for hi, my name is Slim Shady, and he was acting like Britney Spears and shit and all
Yeah,
that shit. That's
yeah.
what that shit was. Yeah. So, and Benzino trying to act like, oh, he's a cross dresser now and this and that. Like, no, he ain't no damn. That was he's an entertainer, he's a rapper, he's an MC, and that was the video and shit. So
Yeah.
it is what and that
I
remember
thought I,
that
I thought
first
he was giving
Britney
shots
Spears
to
video.
Drake, man. I thought he said, "Hey, Drake looks
No,
like a Catholic school girl with
he
big old
does.
ponytails."
Yeah, you see them pictures they be using, and Drake looks like he's
Yeah,
proud to look like that. Dog, he does look like a female in them pictures and shit. Like
yeah,
he got,
man.
and he's the one posting them and shit. Like he's
Hell
proud of
yeah.
that.
He be having some cornball ass shit that he used to do back in the day, you know.
Yeah,
And enough respect to all my Jewish friends. Peace to all my Jewish friends. But Drake used to be all doing all that bar mitzvah stuff back in the day, looking all out of place and shit. Like, man, you know,
yeah,
he, he still speaks a lot of everything inside his hip hop music and stuff about like the baklava plates and all that stuff, all the
yeah.
Jewish stuff. But if he's gonna do that, he just be backsliding the other way too. If we're gonna talk about like that, he be
Right.
backsliding too. You know.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want to let people know too, because we're almost on an hour now, and I gotta I mean, we could do two, three of these episodes a day. It don't matter and shit. Of the we're gonna be
Right.
start doing what's beef, and there's a way on YouTube on the Hood Smokers podcast that we could set it up where we can all go. Like, let's say I'm at work, you're not at work. Let's say you and Blantonio ain't at work, or you and Brother King X ain't at work, but me and Blantonio's at work or something. Y'all can
Yeah.
go live like me and you right now on the Hood Smokers podcast. So I'm gonna make that happen when we get off here. I'm gonna
That's
add you
dope.
and then I'll let you know. It's gonna send you an email and you just gotta accept it. It's gonna give you the same control that I got of the Hood Smoker podcast. And I want to do that with all the real hood smokers that's part of the team. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That
dope.
way,
That's
yeah,
dope.
that way it ain't always got to be me who does these episodes and shows and shit. That all the hood smokers gotta can come out here and go live and talk about like current events, talk about this, talk about that, and I want to see how this was beef goes, and then we'll start if like I said this week we're gonna test it out, see how people. It's been getting good reactions when I put it up there. It seems like people like it and shit. So if it catches on, we start making flyers. We start doing it just like the Hood Smokers podcast. It's just another series. I mean, who knows? We're gonna have our own television production fucking shit with a bunch of
Yeah.
series, episodes and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And still,
so
and still, we all gonna be riding with gutter, man. They're riding with gutter. Yeah.
no,
Hell
I'm gonna throw
yeah.
you. I'm gonna add you on there because I got Blantonio and Brother King X on there. I'm gonna add you on there. I just gotta I need you to send me your email and shit. That's all I need is your email and I can make it
100%.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we get off
Yeah.
here, because I gotta actually get a hold of Brother King X here and shit. I gotta hit him up, and I'm seeing that we're going on that hour mark. So I figure with this series and shit, we should make it about an hour because the Hood Smoker podcast, we go three, we might even go 4 hours and shit. We always go at least two and a half. You know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah. That's
drink.
like that Hood Smokers podcast is like a Baptist church. You never know when you're gonna get out the Baptist church.
Real talk. And anybody watching this on the replay, live, whatever, make sure you leave in the comments any kind of topics you want to see the Hood Smokers talk about. What Hood Smokers you want to hear talk about? If you want to have a question for anybody, any one of the Hood Smokers, drop it in the comments, man. We read all that shit. We'll see it, and we will chop it up. And this is your chance to we interact with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah, we'll
interact with
definitely
y'all.
reply. We'll reply back. Hit Hood Smokers podcast. We'll reply back to your comments. You know, that's one thing
Yeah,
we'll do.
for
So
sure.
keep on loving, sharing it, liking it, sharing it. You know,
No doubt. Shout out to Chester McFly too, Monte Cristo,
Peace,
Dice.
Testament Fly, Mighty Cristo, the horse
Yeah,
trainer. Yeah,
yeah. But shit,
Dice, Blatonio Todd, and Brother King X.
all day,
Brother
yeah,
King X, man. Every time I mention Brother King X, I hear that dope ass joint in my head, man.
yeah. No good
Every
reason.
time, man.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
banger. It's a banger. If y'all ain't heard it,
straight
go
up.
check it out. Just look up Brother King X. It'll pop up.
Yeah.
But
No
but
good
shit, yeah,
reasons. No good reasons.
no good reason. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
That's a dope track. Yeah. But we gonna end this episode. What's beef? What's beef? You know what keeps playing in my? That's why I was like, man, that'd be the perfect title because the Biggie track. I mean, I love that track too and
Me
shit. That
too.
was beef. Beef is when you in mines ain't safe to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That shit was hard, though. That
Hell
whole
yeah.
fucking record was hard. But yeah, this part two of what's beef. I'm gonna keep this one up here. We gonna do it. So next time, part three. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when we get off here, just shoot me your email, and I'm gonna email you the
All
thing.
right.
All you're gonna have to do is press accept. That's it. All you gotta do is accept, and you'll have full access to the Hood Smokers Podcast YouTube
All
channel.
right.
That way you could go live all here with other people and shit and all that. You know what I'm saying? If something's breaking news or whatever, you got some breaking news, we ain't up on it. We're busy, we doing something else. You can come on here. Same thing with like Blantonio, Brother King X, whatever. It's like we gonna do it like that. You know what I'm saying? So
That's gonna work out good because just like you said, like on Saturdays I'll be out, doing the Jeff Bezos crap, you know,
right.
and then like whatever we're doing, we can just take it right there, right where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep.
Instead of not
Hell yeah.
appearing.
And if you got somebody, let's say you hollered at one of your homies, you want to interview him or something on here and shit, you can interview him just like this, like how me and you's talking right now. That's how Chester McFly interviewed Ryan Glover. Shout out Ryan Glover and shit. That's how he interviewed him just like this. So I mean, if let's say one of you want to interview Fez Taylor, like and just on spur of the moment, you talking to Fez and shit. You like, let's go on the Hood Smokers podcast and chop it up. You got a new track dropping and shit. Let's talk about it. You got a new video coming
Hell
out.
yeah.
Let's talk about it and shit. And then you and Fez Taylor live on the Hood Smoker podcast. You know what I'm saying on the
Hell
channel.
yeah.
So
That's an expansion. Yeah.
yeah, so we go, yeah, and we all about growing just like hip hop. You got to keep evolving and shit. The music keeps evolving. We gonna keep
100%.
evolving and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we had 11 over 11K now and shit. And we doing it the right way. We ain't paying to play. This is our true
Nope.
fans and shit, hip hop heads. We don't want to do that pay to play where we got a bunch of people subscribe, but they ain't paying attention. They don't care about what the fuck we talking about. They ain't hip hop heads. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? So, like I had this dude. He keeps tapping in. He's cool as fuck, Jackpot. But he's from Singapore. But he's a Wu Tang fan. He's an Ice Cube fan. He's a hip hop head and shit. He found us. He came across us and shit. So I mean, like hip hop's worldwide, dog. Like I was hearing the Philippines got one of the biggest battle rap scenes in the world and shit. So I
Oh yeah.
mean, hip hop's everywhere, dog. I mean, it's worldwide. So
And their language too. It sounds kind of dope because it's
yeah,
different. They be battle rapping in their language, in their own
yeah,
home language, which there's a lot of different languages up in the Philippines, but it sounds dope. Sounds real dope, man.
yeah.
Even over there in Indonesia and India and all the places they be doing battle raps, man. I just seen
Hell
some
yeah.
stuff recently on social media about over there in India, homeboy doing a battle rap. Sound pretty dope. Um, yeah, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. So we'll definitely we got a lot more big things coming and shit. A lot more big things. And the Hood Smokers podcast still every Wednesday and Saturday. We got another show, Detroit Hip Hop. This Wednesday, tomorrow night. It's gonna be a dope episode. Young up and coming artists and shit. They're doing their thing. They're dope. They're MCs. Not that mumble rap. Even though I ain't hating on mumble rap, we celebrate all genres of hip hop.
Oh yeah.
But now they got bars and shit. Some young up and coming artists. We gonna have them on tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, I'm trying to think. Oh, who the fuck we got? Oh yeah, we got from the music shop. That's what I'm saying. We don't hate on no podcast. He got the music shop. Cedric Dub, DJ. enough. DJ, yeah, DJ, yeah, DJ enough. Enough said. My bad. My bad, DJ enough said. But we got him coming up Wednesday
It's
from the
close.
music
Yeah.
shop. You know what I'm saying? And he's out there in Pontiac. That's where his show's at. But he interviews Detroit rappers, Pontiac rappers, Michigan rappers from all over, and he has them in house, which is dope. And but he reps Pontiac. You know what I'm saying? So he gets
Yeah.
respect from Detroit. It's not like he's saying he's from Detroit, but he's from Pontiac. And
Yeah.
he's repping
My brother
Pontiac.
lives in Pontiac. My brother Freedom Rogers lives in Pontiac. Yeah.
Yeah.
No respect, dude.
Shout out to Freedom Rogers. Shout
Yeah.
out to Pontiac. Shout out to Yak Town.
Pontiac.
That's
Yeah.
the hood out there, dog. For real. Pontiac's the hood. That's the hood of Oakland County. You know what I'm saying? Pontiac.
Hmm.
So, yeah, no, I used to go to the clubs out there. They got a lot of dope ass clubs out there in Pontiac, downtown Pontiac and shit. A lot of dope ass clubs. Big, nice, fucking banging ass hip hop clubs and shit out there. There's
How far?
live out
How far is Pontiac away from you, Jay?
shit. About a half hour, 45 minutes, depending on traffic. Something like
If I
that.
ever go visit my brother, man, right now, man, yeah, I'm definitely coming through, man.
Oh, most
100%.
definitely, dog. Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. I'll come swoop you up and shit. Just let me know and shit. I'll come swoop you up.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of swooping up and shit, I gotta hit up brother King X though, cause I'm like 10 minutes from his work and shit. I gotta get at him. We got a hour and 5 minutes, 6 minutes in. So we got a good episode of part two of Was Beef.
Right on, man.
Presented by the Hood Market Podcast with Jay Gutter and Christopher Jordan in the building. So and we got more to come. And any suggestions y'all got, leave them in the comments, man. We open to any suggestions, anything like that. Anything y'all want to hear us talk about, chop it up about, anything. You know what I'm saying? Just drop it in the
How do you
comments.
guys feel out there in comments? Do you feel like it's Drake versus everybody? Like, is everybody going in on Drake? Is Drake standing alone by himself? And do you think Drake could hold his ground against MCs like Pusha T and Rick Ross and Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole? Do you think um, anybody with a ghostwriter can hold their grounds down? How do you feel? Is ghostwriting being a true hip hop artist? Even though if you do have a ghostwriter, you can also perform and bring that hip hop um, to life as your own, but still somebody's writing your music. But you're gonna have to animate it. You're gonna have to bring that song to life. You're the
And
one that
that
brings it to life. So
and the
you
difference
kind of look at it.
between that is an entertainer and an MC. That's the difference. You're an entertainer or you're an MC. That's how I look at it. If you got a ghostwriter, you're an entertainer. If you got a dope pen, if your pen's cold, you can write rhymes or you can freestyle. It's your music. You're an MC. But if you're just rapping other people's shit and you're going up there and you're putting on a show, you're an entertainer and shit. That's what you are.
Yeah, he's
I
an
ain't hating
entertainer, just
on
like
it.
you said, pop. Yeah, he's an
Yeah,
entertainer.
yeah, for real.
Yeah,
But
he ain't one. He gonna somebody gonna pop, give him pop an artist.
no doubt. But shit, when we get off here, Christopher George, shoot me your email and I'm gonna go ahead and make I'll let you know when I send it to you and shit. And you just gotta pop on the email and just hit accept and you'll be have full access to the Hood Smokers podcast. So
Hell
start
yeah.
going live and doing shows out here too and shit. So
All
and
right, no doubt,
y'all
man.
don't
Yeah,
forget
I'm gonna send
everyone's
you my
on top.
email. Get in it.
Okay.
Chat with you right now.
Yeah.
Just hit me up after you get brother King X.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll hit you up.
All right.
All right, much love. Peace, y'all. We
Peace.
out of here.
Peace, everyone. Peace. Have a good
Peace.
day.
Yeah.